Now this ish about a kickoff, this party looks whack. Let's take it back to the straight hip hop and start it from scratch. I'm about to bloody this track up. Everybody get back. That's what my pen needs a pack, cause my rhymes on the rack. Just like I did with the addiction, I'm about to kick it like a magician. Critics, I turn to crickets. Got him still on the fence whether to pick it, but stick to get impaled while I tell him, stick it, so sick it. I'm looking pale, well that's my pigment. About to go ham, yeah bitch. Shout out to Kendrick, let's bring it back to that vintage slim. The art of mixing mixed with Da Vinci and MC Ren, and I don't mean Stimpy's friend. Been for Public Enemy since you thought PE was gym. Kick your shoes off, let your hair down, and go berserk. All night long, grow your bit out, just weird out, and go berserk. All night long, we're gonna rock this house until we knock it down, so turn the volume loud, cause it's May until the AM, so baby just like K-Fed, let yourself go. Let yourself go. Say, before we hit the bucket. Life's a shot to not go for broke. So everybody, go berserk. Grab your vial, yeah. Hello, and today we are doing Premier League predictions for match week number 35 of the 2021 to 22 season. That, my friends, is the song of the weekend. It's a bit of a banger. It is Bezerk by, yes, you guessed it, Eminem. But, my friends, what is the theme of the weekend? Well, seeing as Watford take on the Clarets, Burnley, I'm saying that it will be that legendary exerciser that was back in the 80s, back in the 90s, Jane Fonda, and her classic phrase was, feel the burn, and it's Burnley. So yeah, that's my theme of the week this week. Apologies, by the way, for last week, the lack of content, but I've been quite busy recently, and I will be, to be honest, for the rest of this year, because I'm going to be off to uni, so there'll be kind of a stop to the channel for a long time, and maybe forever, who knows. But that's why we're getting the most out of this season when we can. It's going to be busy the next few months. But yeah, we couldn't get around to doing a video last week. We just felt like having a weekend off, to be honest. But we're back with action this week, and it is Premier League predictions back again. So actually, we've got 2 weeks to catch up in week 33 and week 34. So let's kick off, first of all, with week 33. Now, I did do week 34 predictions, but I just obviously didn't make a video of it. So I'll talk you through what I predicted, and we can look through that, and then, of course, predict match week 35. And don't forget the scoring system for these predictions. 1 point for the correct outcome. So let's say you backed a draw in the game tonight between Manchester United and Chelsea. Of course, did finish a draw, 1-1 between the sides. Bit of an impressive result considering Manchester United's poor season, but Chelsea really had chances, didn't take them, and United came straight back. Cristiano Ronaldo, the GOAT, with another fantastic strike. Great pass from Matic, though, the former Chelsea man, and a really nice goal from Chelsea, of course. Really well flicked on by Kai Havertz, and it's a good finish by Marcos Alonso, who scores at Old Trafford once again. That's a decent result for United, and I think their top four hope is probably already over, but look, they'll take some consolation from that going into next season with Erik ten Hag. So, so if you'd have said a draw, you'd have got 1 point. But obviously with draws, it's different because I also give some points for correct goal differences. So say you say Liverpool beat Everton 3-1. Well, obviously they beat them 2-0, so that would have been the correct goal difference. So a draw, goal difference is just the same every time. So if you get the draw correct, you also get the goal difference points. So in that respect, you'd have got 3. If you said a 0-0 draw and it was 1-1. But then, of course, if you said 1-1, then that's all the full points, 5 for you, and that's how it goes. But will be a very interesting look over the last couple of weeks, because there's been some interesting ones for sure. Let's, of course, start off with the comments from the last predictions video. Again, get your comments in the section down below, and we'll give your name a shout out, and you can be heard and get your predictions known. Thanks for commenting on the video last week, DK Jones and Ballum. Great stuff. Really useful to see your predictions and see what you're saying. But I really appreciate it. Great followers of the channel, and just join them in that kind of elite league of people commenting in the videos. And anyone that likes Premier League football, likes score predictions, do
join in the party and share this video with someone that might find it interesting. So DK Jones, Spurs 4, Brighton 1 is what he went for. Look, I don't think any Spurs fans would have kind of disagreed with that, but despite the fact that Brighton weren't amazing the last few weeks, they did beat Arsenal. I don't think we thought they'd carry it on, but they beat them 1-0. Leandro Trossard with a late goal. I mean, Spurs were poor in that game, really. And again, really poor against Brentford. So that's 2 successive games now for Spurs not scoring, and they need to really sort that out. But Spurs, yeah, not good at all, and Brighton deserved the win. Man United Norwich 3-2, so he's at least got a correct result here. It was 3-2 in real life. He predicted 3-1. Norwich, I tell you what, they gave that game a real go, and they probably should have got something out of it, but as is their defence is very leaky. But what a hat-trick from Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, unbelievable. What a free kick. That is a fantastic goal from the go, and also scored 2 brilliant goals as well. That header was just so strong to outmuscle the defender, and then, I mean, the first one is brilliant from Anthony Elanga, but it's a great team goal for Manchester United, and that is what Ronaldo is all about, just sniffing out the chance and being clinical. So, although Norwich were kind of walking over United at times, and De Gea had to make a few good saves, and Pukki looked pretty threatening with his goal and assist, United just about did enough, and maybe Tim Krul should have done a bit better with the final goal. But look, United got the win, important, but obviously since then they have been a bit of a shambles, losing to Liverpool, and against Arsenal, they would have thought need to get something, but they really were poor. Much better, though, tonight, obviously, against Chelsea. Southampton Arsenal, you said a 2-1 Arsenal. It was, of course, 1-0 to Southampton. Now, big result for Southampton, this one, because they were really looking a little bit at sea, and they are just one of those teams, Southampton. They go through really inconsistent spells, but this was one of the better ones, and Arsenal really didn't turn up. But Fraser Forster certainly did. Fantastic saves in the game, especially that one from Saka. Saka was so favourite to score, and he puts it trying to finish it from that pass from Martinelli, and then he just can't get it into the corner enough. It's quite central, and it's a fantastic reflex from Fraser Forster. Watford Brentford. We of course predicted in the video a Watford win, because we were just kind of losing the will to live a little bit, and just thought, finally, hopefully, come on, Watford, will the penny drop? Will we actually win a game at home? Or forget that, will we even not lose at home and draw for a first time since September against Newcastle? And it looked that way for a long time. We really fought back into the second half. We looked the better team in the second half. Brentford was starting to get worried by our attacking play. And then last minute of the match, lack of game management, cross in from Eriksen. We know what he is from set pieces. He's absolute mercurial talent at that. And Vincent Janssen comes to break all our Watford hearts, and just, it's a cruel way of losing that game. I get that we've not been good enough this season, but there's no way that Brentford should be getting 3 points there. So just kind of summed up our season quite nicely. The right intentions, but ultimately not good enough, and we are destined to play Championship football. And look, at the end of the day, Championship football is quite fun. Like, I'm not being funny. It gets a lot of slack, and I don't think it should. It's exciting. It's riveting. Okay, yeah, there's no VAR. Maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe it's a good thing. You can look at it both ways. But it is an exciting league, and hopefully we'll be up there to try and get promoted. It won't be as easy as the last time, though. Certainly there are some big clubs in there, and ultimately this is the second time around, so players will probably have reshuffle movements and transfers. We're definitely selling Sarr, regardless of whether we're in this division or not, and we're definitely going to be selling Emmanuel Dennis. So it's about how we kind of get the best out of the players that stay, but it's impossible to know at this point. So really disappointing, but yeah, no correct score there for you, DK, but you did of course get a Brentford correct result. Newcastle Leicester, and goal difference as well, I should say. Newcastle Leicester 1-1 is what you went for. It was a 2-1 Newcastle. Massive win for the Magpies. They were pretty much already safe, but really impressive from Bruno Guimaraes. 2 goals, and what a way to announce yourself at the St James's Park. Fantastic, and what a week he's had, really. Scored again against Norwich. He's just in great form. And Leicester really don't care about the Premier League games now. They're all about the Europa Conference League, which, as we speak, I think What is the score between Leicester City and Roma? Hang on. Bear with, people. Oh, brilliant. So it doesn't even give it. You have to search Google. Really helpful, Siri. Really helpful. So the semi-final is... Obviously, it's the first leg, so read into this what you will. And I think they were losing for a lot of it. Has it finished that way? An own goal. Okay. Interesting. So what is the final score? All square. Ah, okay. I think it finished 1-1. Yeah. Interesting. Well, that's a decent result considering they were behind. But yeah, basically what I was going to say was with that Leicester game, they've thrown away the league in terms of their care about it. So, you know, at the end of the day, it was an own goal from Mancini actually. So yeah, bit of a lucky one for Leicester, but you know they'll take that. They really just mean that whoever they're playing, basically, you can guarantee they'll get results. And unfortunately, frustratingly for Watford, I mean, like I said, we've been down weeks ago. We've been so poor this season. We've deserved to go down. But it's just, you don't want to see the teams around you that even if you are going to go down, you don't want to see them do enough to, you know, have a bit more fight than us and a few more points than us. And Everton got that late draw against Leicester as well. So, yeah, Leicester, you're not helping us out recently. West Ham, Burnley. So yeah, no correct result there for DK. West Ham Burnley 2-1 West Ham. Of course, that was a good result for Burnley. 1-1 draw there. Weghorst finally gets the goal for the Clarets. It's been a long wait for him, and also a really nice goal for West Ham. Ultimately, West Ham, as I say, they've got their eye on the Europa League. A bit like Leicester, really, but obviously it's Europa Conference. So yeah, nice goal for West Ham, but at the end of the day, it was kind of like they went for the game. You know, they were trying to do what they could against Burnley, but Burnley wanted it more. It's as simple as that. They're fighting, scrapping for their life. And in the first game for the new manager since that sacking of Sean Dyche, which I think was a bad decision at the time, but since then it seems to have paid off. It was a good delivery from Lanzini, and it's a decent finish from Souček. But you know, I don't see how West Ham have actually not won that game with the amount of shots, the amount of possession. It's pretty crazy. But look, Pope was unbelievable in goal. That save to deny, I think it was Diop or one of the centre backs, unbelievable. Liverpool, Man United 3-0. It was 4-0, of course. United, absolute disgraceful performance. Liverpool, unbelievable. What a goal from Luis Diaz, not the City player. Just brilliant counter-attacking Liverpool side, and really he's been a great signing from Porto. He's just fitted in like a glove. Also, Salah, unbelievable. 2 goals, what a player. I mean, the second goal, that pass from Mane, unbelievable reverse pass. And the touchdown with Salah, and then it finishes it so coolly. And yeah, brilliant win for Liverpool, and United in the mud. Everton 1, Leicester 1. So no correct result here. You said 2-1 and DK. But look, at the end of the day, it probably should have been. Leicester had more chances, more of possession. Like it was Leicester all over really. But Everton just the last 10 minutes started to batter the door down, and then eventually deflects off the heel of Ricardo Pereira from the shot from Richarlison. You're just like, come on, give us a break, Watford. Like honestly, Richarlison as well. Just you hate to see it. Chelsea Arsenal 2-1 Chelsea. You know, I think a lot of people would have backed Chelsea going into this, but look, Arsenal came out of the blocks, unbelievable win. Nketiah brace, just got to say fair play. 4-2, no correct result there. And Newcastle Palace, that was a big result actually for Newcastle, because obviously the win against Leicester was good, but they wanted to follow that up, and great goal from Almiron. I mean, that's, you know, he's not done well for Newcastle in a Newcastle shirt, but that was a fantastic strike. So you would never have known he'd be so low on confidence. But yeah, Palace were poor, and it was the right result in the end. City Brighton, obviously a big game, obviously with Liverpool beating United, but City responded in kind, didn't they? They're so cool under pressure. But look, Brighton made it tough first half. It looked nervy at times for City, but on this occasion they did enough, and Foden scored a bit of a lucky goal Took a deflection as well as the shot strike from Riyad Mahrez. And then Bernardo Silva with the final one. What nice finish from the Portuguese there. And finally, Burnley 2, Southampton 0. Big win for Mike Jackson and Ben Mee in the dugout. Ultimately, Southampton really, really poor again. But some important goals from Burnley, and Collins is up there for another goal from a header. And what a strike it was from Connor Roberts, his first Premier League goal. What a way to do it. So, interesting predictions there from DK. I can confirm that you scored yourself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 points is pretty impressive. And meanwhile, Ballum also predicted his predictions. He said Spurs 1, Brighton 0. Oh, wrong way around. Feel for you. No points there. He said Norwich City will lose. Dean Smith is a fraud. Okay. Right. That's really not helpful because he's not actually said what the score is. But, we'll move on from that. Still on 0 points. Watford 1, Brentford 0. Roy Hodgson will want to win this. I bet he wants to win every single game because Watford have been utter poo. But he has been also not the managerial appointment that we should have done. It was just, I don't know. It was just a shambles. And, he was well respected at Palace. That's the thing. We've been so poor, and he's seemingly been so poor and just disconnected from the fans that it's just we've gone backwards, and it's a shame because we started to show some signs of positive stuff, but it was too little, too late anyway. Against Burnley, against West Ham, against Villa, Southampton, but then recently we've just gone one step back, 1 step forward, 2 step back, and our fate's been sealed for a long time, I think. So no correct result there. We said 1-0 to Arsenal. You thought Arsenal should win this. They should have done with the amount of chances they had, but look, Southampton deserved the result. Wolves 1, City 2. You actually predicted. I'm afraid that's not this week. It's going to be a future week. But on paper, that is a tricky match for the City faithful because Wolves have been their bogey team in the last few seasons. Newcastle Leicester 1-0. Newcastle will want to win this. They certainly did. And that's 3 points there for the correct goal difference. So, first points for you, Ballum, in this week. West Ham 1, Burnley 1. Fair play. Correct scoreline there. Very, very good. So, on to 8 points there. Leeds, Chelsea, still yet to play. Villa, Liverpool, again, still yet to play. Everton, Palace, still yet to play. So, actually, you seem to have predicted more games than there really were, especially because there was midweek games and you seem to finish at West Ham Burnley. So, is what it is. But you actually did feel pretty well. Considering you didn't have that many games to predict there, finishing on 8, you should be happy with that. Right, moving on to Matchweek 34 then. What did I predict last week? Well, I actually did say... Oh, sorry, I didn't even talk about my predictions. Sorry about that, people. Week 33, I said Spurs 2, Brighton 0. Nope. Watford 1, Brentford 0 with the solitary goal from Ismail Assar. He was absolutely missing in that Brentford game, and really he's been missing for a lot of this season, whether that's been injury or actually playing games. So if we get a profit on him, which we definitely won't, if we get 25 million for him, then I'll take that. I'll snap your hand off because we got something like 35, 40 for him. So that's daylight robbery right now. Watford, obviously, that was wrong. West Ham Burnley 3-1. Nope. Southampton Arsenal, nope. So a pretty bad start really to some predictions. Then I said 3-1 City against Brighton. Okay, it was 3-0, close enough. 3-1 United against Norwich, just like DK. But no, not quite. 1 point there. Newcastle Leicester, got that wrong. I thought Leicester would win. Liverpool United 4-1. Oh, it's close enough, but United, why did I think they would score against Liverpool? I don't know. But 1 point there. And also did get ourselves a correct scoreline. Everton 1, Leicester 1. As much as I didn't want to see it happen, it did. And that's 5 points for me there. So ending the week 33 then on a score total of 8 points. And it feels like deja vu because we finished week 34 with 8 points. Oh, no, we didn't. I'm chatting absolute garbage. We finished on 5 points. That's even worse. No, hang on. I've said we finished on 5, but I've made a mistake here. Sorry, people. Apologies for this. No, I was looking at basically I do these other predictions and I've basically ran out of time to write it on my book. So then I just did all the games from Sunday onwards for the rest of this week, and obviously there was only then 6 games to predict. and from that I got 5 points. But no, let's look at the whole week. Obviously, I did put my predictions in. So my predictions then, I said Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. Thank you very much. So following up that Everton game with another correct score. Beautiful. I'm pretty happy with that because that wasn't an easy prediction. You know, Arsenal come into that would have fancied a clean sheet, but you know, got it spot on. Also, we had Liverpool against Everton. We said 4-0. Okay, 2-0. Correct result. We said 3 City and 0 Watford. It was a correct result. We thought City would score big, and they actually scored bigger. But I actually did think we would lose like 7 or 8-0. So, you know, 5-1, not ideal, of course. You don't want to ever lose a game 5-1. But to score at the Etihad, better than I expected, to be honest. We've been a shambles this season, and City have been an absolute class act. So, you know, I'll take that. I know it's got desperate to that point. We're losing 5-1, and I'm saying I'll take that. But honestly, we put in a performance where the players actually looked like they cared. Yes, it's been too little too late. Yes, we've been terrible all season, but we actually went for it. And that's a great goal from Hassan Kamara. You know, and Dennis, he's doing better form recently. Nice little chip ball and nice finish from Kamara. He just hits it hard and low. That's all you need to do. And squeezing it through for his first goal for Watford. Couldn't be happy for him. Favourite Watford player for sure. And first goal from a fullback or any defender this season for Watford. So it's about time he spread the goals around. But let's just try and score a goal at home and try and actually win a game. Anyway, moving on. We also said a result for Spurs against Brentford, but that was wrong. Newcastle Norwich, we said 1-0 to Norwich. I don't know why we did, but you know, just that's the way it happened, and it was a 3-0 Newcastle. Brighton Southampton, we said 1-1. It was 2-2, so I'll take that. 3 points. We said 2-1, but Wolves against Burnley. Wolves were really underwhelming against the Clarets. Matty Vidra, though, super Matty Vidra with the goal. He is a bit of a legend when it comes to the end of the season. He just knows where the back of the net is, and I'm a bit worried, to be honest, for Saturday because I can see him scoring, and I think he will respect the fans, but you know, it's just painful, isn't it, if that happens. Former Watford man. Now moving on to Chelsea West Ham, 1 point. Okay, a late win for Chelsea. We'll take that, I suppose. We said 3-0. It was 1-0. And then Palace Leeds, 1-0 Leeds is what I went for because I just thought they'd go for it. They didn't actually play that well, Leeds, and Palace were dominating really. But Melier was making a few good saves, and it was a bit of a stinker of a Monday Night Football. So no points for me there. And finally, Manchester United 1, Chelsea 3. Got that one wrong. It was 1-1. So yeah, finishing the week on 11 points. I'll take that. A correct result. And a solid score. But we move on, not to what it was last week, 11 games, but it's back to the 10, the regular amount this week. Week 35, let's get straight into it. What are we going to predict first, though? That is the question. Let me think. I'm going to go for a little bit of Manchester United, because we just saw them play against Chelsea, and to be honest, they could have been worse. I know that's a bit of a cheap thing to say because they've been awful this season, so it's not much of a bar to go above, but at the end of the day they were decent. I thought, they weren't amazing, but they showed a reaction to that goal from Chelsea and that goal from Marcus Alonso, and a great finish from Cristiano Ronaldo. That is what he is all about. So yeah, Reece James, by the way, he was so unlucky in the game, and the amount of chances he had, the crosses he had, he was amazing. Man of the match for sure. Hit the post as well. So yeah, United obviously coming into this week have got a big game against Brentford. Monday Night Football. Do Brentford want to go for this? Well, probably don't need to, but they probably just play well because that's how they've been doing pretty much all season, other than that spell where they had Fernandes in goal. Talking of Fernandes, he was pretty uninspiring against Chelsea, I've got to be honest, but he's been that way for a while. I think United, though, do have enough to win this game, and with what they saw against Chelsea, they should feel a little bit better about themselves. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. Brentford to score first through Christian Eriksen. Then United score through the GOAT. He does it every single time. Cristiano Ronaldo. And then the second United goal going for Anthony Elanga. Now, moving on. There's the matchup between Villa and Norwich. Now, this is a game you would back Villa, right? Because Norwich have been poor. They are, just like Watford, a little bit cut off in that bottom three. And Villa have just been so up and down. But if there's one game to get a bit of consistency from, it's this one. Norwich, away from home, have been so leaky. And Villa, really, I just think with Villa, they've got so many good players. They should be being more consistent. But at Villa Park, they have put in some good performances this season. Against Leeds, against the likes of Manchester United. And, they can make some difficult teams look much, much more easy to play against. Now, this is an easy team to play against. Will Villa make it look difficult? Well, they did against Watford when we beat them back in March or whenever it was. So, look, at the end of the day, I think Villa have got enough here, but ultimately, Norwich are fighting. They need every point. Let's see what happens. I'll say Villa 1. Villa 1? Sorry. I said United, didn't I? 2-1, right? But moving on, Villa 1, Norwich City 0. It'll be a bit of a stinker game. I think Villa just need to get a bit of form back. But Jacob Ramsey, that is, who signed a new deal to 2027, he's going to get the goal for the Villains. Now, Newcastle Liverpool is up next. Now, the last match of this was played last season at St James's Park. It finished 0-0. And Liverpool and Newcastle have not drawn 0-0 all season. So, what are the chances it has no goals here? Well, Newcastle have been outstanding form. Really, really good since Eddie Howe came in. And, I still thought they would stay up with the money coming in. But look, they've still actually scored goals even after that kind of effect is paid with the signings they've made. They've actually played better as a whole squad. So, fair play to them. But Liverpool, you just know they're going to be really hungry for points. And obviously playing first this weekend before they watch City play against Leeds United, that's a big factor. They can get in Man City's head here for the tea time kickoff. And obviously it's the early kickoff here. So I honestly feel Liverpool win this. And I think they keep a clean sheet as well. Newcastle United 0, Liverpool 3. Trent Alexander-Arnold to get the first from a free kick. Then Mo Salah to score the second. And the third Liverpool goal, assisted by Mo Salah, is going to be a little bit of Ruben Loftus-Cheek. No, I'm joking. No, Luis Diaz. I keep saying Ruben Diaz. It's Luis Diaz. 3-0 Liverpool. They looked really strong against Villarreal in the Champions League midweek. That's just Liverpool. Winning machine. Now, next up, we have got the game for Watford that I'm not looking forward to, but I'm still going with a grimace. A grimace is the right word. It's like, you see that thing on Twitter with that meme where it's like you got a picture of some smiley face and then they got a mask and in front of them on top of the mask is someone smiling and then behind it is just someone crying. That's basically me as a Watford fan right now because I'm trying to put on a brave face and just try and enjoy these final 4 games of the season. But I really can't, can I? Because I say 5, but these final 2 home games, I just don't want to enjoy it. 3 home games. I want the season to end, sort of thing. Because our fate is sealed. If we stay up now, I'm telling you, I'm buying Roy Hodgson a Lamborghini, okay? And I'll stick by that now. I'm obviously joking. But it's getting to that point now because we're so cut off. We're on 22. We've been that way since Liverpool. I just think there's just not enough fight in this team. Now, we showed fight against City, yeah. But do we ever show fight against the teams around us? No. So what's the point? It just frustrates you. But anyway, Watford, Burnley. Look, Burnley need the points as much as we do. But this really is last chance. We've wasted so many before. Last chance, okay? If you've got any chance. I remember West Brom in the 17-18 season, right? They had a stinker of a season. They got in Darren Moore and they basically just extended the inevitable for a bit longer. They got relegated, as you'd expect, but they showed a bit of fight, which gives them confidence going into the next season. Okay, granted, they didn't get promoted, and they still haven't got promoted since, but I don't want to make that a bad omen. But what I mean is, we want to see some encouragement. That's only going to be positive for next season. Now, I know the squad could be very different, but, play Shaq Ford, play, the youngsters, and just see something. I'm not saying sacrifice wins, because of course we want wins. But the season's done. Hodgson's leaving, confirmed, and we're not going to probably get in a manager now because you think who's going to want to come mid-season? Who's going to want to come when, you could just come and press the reset button for 2022 to 23. So, look, it's a big game. Obviously, it's a 6-pointer more for Burnley than it is for us, but it'd be really nice to just put Burnley in a difficult situation. Now, the question is, do we lose on purpose? I don't want to, but if we just tried our best and happened to lose, and then happened to find a way to win against Everton, which I don't see it really happening, but let's just say it happened, then that'd be great, of course. Let's try and relegate Everton. That would be funny. But then you kind of think, if we lose to Burnley, we're pretty much down ourselves. So we've won, but at what cost, eh? So ultimately, I don't want to be relegated by Palace. I'm not going to lie. Palace, we've just not been your friends this kind of few decades. And Wilfried Zaha, I just know what you're going to do. You're going to score a penalty. You're going to cut your ears to the Watford fans. You're going to dive. VAR is going to bail you out. And Roy Hodgson's going to get relegated against his former team. And we're going to be down with 3 games to go. And everyone's going to be fuming. But is it better we get relegated sooner or later? Part of me thinks, put me out of my misery. But another part of me thinks, I want to see that fighting spirit to the end. However bad this season's been, it ain't over till the fat lady sings. And I know the fat lady is warming up her vocal cords right now because it's been over for a long time. But what I mean is, mathematically, until then, you got to keep fighting. But we've not shown a lot of fight this season. So if we can play as a unit, then maybe we can get at least a point against Burnley. But Burnley are going to go all out for this. I just don't want to lose this game and then we probably lose against Palace and get relegated. Like, it'd be nice to lose to Leicester or Chelsea and then get relegated because then you feel like, well, there's no shame in that. Even Everton, right? If we get relegated home to Everton, okay, not ideal, obviously, because Everton, we want to get relegated because it's Everton. But, just try and win. I don't know, just beat Burnley. If not for Watford's players and fans and manager's sake, do it for Will Mackenzie. He bloody hates Burnley, so just give them a defeat, all right? I don't know if you know that in-betweeners reference. But anyway, the point I'm saying is, it's last chance saloon here, people. We've had to put up with a stinker of a season. Just, please. I think draw and we're down, lose and we're down, win and we're semi-down. I'm not even sure. Maybe 9/11's down. I can't really tell at this point, but it's a tall order. I had a look at the stats and I think I realised that to stay up this season, Watford need to collect another 10 points from 5 games and hope results go away. Yeah, it's a tall order. But, yeah, win or bust. Burnley have it all to play for. We have none to play for, really. But to spoil Burnley's chances of safety, that would be nice. I don't know. There's a few ex-players between the two sides, of course. Jack Cork, Andre Gray, Sean Dyche, of course, no longer with Burnley. And also the legend that is Gifton Noel Williams. What a player he was back in the day. But let's move on to my prediction. Let's just not lose. Let's not outright break Premier League record history, all right? And be the 11th home defeat in a row. I would hate to see it. Really. Just no, all right? We're trying to break records in the right way, not in the wrong way. Dare watch if you really must. Watford 1, Burnley 0. Emmanuel Dennis with a solitary goal in the 23rd minute. Hold on. Scrappy. Watford sent off from Samir, I don't know. But just anything for 3 points. Okay, moving on. I know I blubbed on that and waffled on that, but I've got to talk about my team in depth, right? That's all that matters to me. Even if we are a shambles. So, moving on. The game between... let me just find the fixture. Hang on. Oh yeah, Southampton Palace. St Mary's. They come into this Southampton with a little bit of conundrum because last week, I don't know what they were doing, to be honest. I don't know what they were doing in that first half against Brighton because they looked shambolic, right? You got Salisu, what's he doing? You got Fraser Forster spilling it and an easy tap in for Welbeck. They come out second half, they look a different team. I mean, fair enough, Ward-Prowse. For him, a free kick is like a penalty. It's like unbelievable. But, you know, he's up there with good company. Beckham, Ronaldo, the lot. I still feel, though, Southampton should win, though, at this game. I mean, Palace, I say Palace will relegate us. It's still not the most assured thing that Palace stay up. I think I'm being deluded right now. But look, Palace are still only a couple of points above Leeds, I think. They only drew against them on Monday night, so they're safe in all sense of the word, other than mathematically. So if they get another win, they'll probably be safe. But I feel Southampton's home form. It's been up and down, but I think this one is going to be up. Southampton 2, Palace 0. And goal scorers, by the way, Phil for Livramento. He's had a great season, and it's a shame to see him out injured. But Southampton scorers, Che Adams and Stuart Armstrong. Now, Wolves against Brighton Hove Albion. Now, Wolves are just one of those teams you just get frustrated about because they don't score enough goals. Brighton the same, really. They have been leaking goals this season, actually, Brighton. So I can see Wolves not scoring many, but also Brighton conceding quite a few. So I still feel this will be a draw. I think this has been a draw game of recent seasons. Wolves won, Brighton won. Remain Seiss with the goal for Wolves, and the goal for Brighton, let's say Caicedo. Moises Caicedo. I don't know if you pronounce it like that, but anyway. Now, huge game. Sky Sports. Watch it. And Saturday Night Football. And it's live with Martin Tyler. Or is it with Martin Tyler? Maybe he's on the Monday night game against Brentford. I don't know. Anyway, ignore me. The point is, it's a huge game. Both for Leeds in the relegation scrap and for City in the title race. Now, Leeds, they've done it against City before, you know. They got a point in this game last season. They beat City at the Etihad. Stuart Dallas rolling back the years. I'm going to say Leeds lose. But look, it would be lovely to see a Leeds draw in this game. As much as I don't want Leeds to get any points for Watford's sake, I want Liverpool to win the league. So we're pretty much already down. Go on, Leeds. Let's see what happens. Leeds 1, City 2. Realistically, we got to think what was going to happen in these predictions. And then moving on is Everton Chelsea. Interesting. At Goodison Park, of course, former team for Frank Lampard. If he scores in this game, Richarlison, then fair play, because he is just one of those players you just don't like to see score. But no, I think Chelsea will win the game. They looked a little bit off it against United, but they'll come back stronger. You know, they've got FA Cup to think about. Yeah, okay, but they also want to try and have a strong end to the season. Rudiger's obviously leaving, and you know, I just think Chelsea need to sort their ownership out. I don't know what's going on with that, but they'll be a much better side than Everton for sure. Everton are in a bit of a sticky situation. The Toffees in a sticky situation, pardon the pun. Everton 0, Chelsea 2, and goal scorers here. I'm gonna go for it. It's gonna be Rudiger, and then Mason Mount. And finally, our last few games, we've got Spurs-Leicester. I'm going to say a big scoring game because these are always entertaining ones. Harry Kane loves playing against Leicester. And Leicester, well, Vardy loves playing against Spurs, but I'm not sure if he's going to play all the time. So I'll say Spurs for the win, but it's a big game in the top 4 race. Spurs 4, Tottenham 2. Spurs 4, Leicester 2. You never heard that. Leicester goals, I'm going to say Kelechi Iheanacho. He scored a screamer at the Wembley Stadium a few seasons back. And then the goal for Leicester as well will be Tielemans. And then Spurs get their goals through Son, Kane, another from Kane, and then Romero, unlikely source. And finally, it's another big top 4 clash. It's West Ham v Arsenal. Now I say top 4 clash. Obviously, West Ham looking to get through to the semi-final and get to the final of the old Europa League, a thing that Arsenal have got used to very recently. But they don't want to get used to it. They want to get Champions League this season, Arsenal. I said Spurs were in the driving seat a couple of weeks ago. Now Arsenal seem to be. I don't know. They just beat United and Chelsea, and Spurs are on a little bad run. So it's all about that North London derby. But look, this is not an easy game for Arsenal. Despite how maybe uninterested West Ham are right now, they're still a good side, West Ham. And they did beat them in the reverse fixture 2-0 with Martinelli and a Lacazette penalty miss as well. But ultimately, Arsenal got the job done with a Smith Rowe goal. I think Arsenal win this, though. I think this will be a tough test, but they'll get just about through it. West Ham United 0, Arsenal 1. And the only goal scorer of the game for the rip-roaring Gunners is Odegaard. Martin Odegaard. Thanks for watching my Premier League predictions. I know it's been a long one, but you know, I've had a few things to catch up on. It's been a while since we've talked Premier League predictions, so just sit back, relax, and if you haven't already seen this, share it with your friends. Predict down below match week 35, 10 games for you to sink your teeth into, and come on, Watford, please. I just want to win. I'm not asking for much. I'll see you on the Matchday vlog on Saturday evening. Goodbye.